Hey, this is going to be the video on the G chords. So if you want to learn about which chords to play in a song that is in the key of G, then this is the video for you. This is the key of G. It's the root key. It's the chord that we'll go to often in a song in the key of G, and it looks like this. You can also see the chord charts that show you all 7 chords that are in this key that we play with songs in the key of G. Before we get into that, just to remind you, we have E, A, D, G, B, E. That's the name of your strings when they're open. But when you hold a chord, those notes, of course, change because you're shortening the length of the string, which makes it a different note. And we don't even need to get into each of the notes of the chord. Just know that we'll be holding different frets of different strings, which will provide normally the 1, the 3, the 5 of the chord. So G, it's right here, G. The next chord is going down to the 4, which is the C. It's also major, and we're playing it kind of a simplified form because it goes really good with the G. They sound really pretty too. So you're gonna keep your fingers down here on the 3rd fret on the B and the E string. Those are the higher strings, those thin ones at the bottom. So G, and I'm kind of muting the top string. It's an E. It could be played, but the C sounds better just with the C being the lowest note. So I'm kind of letting this finger kind of block that. Kind of naturally happens anyway with most of us with our fingers. They tend to touch that string. So G. The 5 is the D. It goes like this. It's a little triangle. You'll see that the pointy finger and the middle finger are on the same fret, the 2nd fret. There's a string in between, and that B string in between you're going to hold with your ring finger on the 3rd fret. And I'm only playing these these 4 notes. It's okay if you hit more notes because these are louder, tend to make. But if you kind of play them too much, it gets a little wobbly there. So mostly you're playing the bottom 4. Sometimes I'll use my thumb, just kind of keep that E from making noises. So this is what it sounds like together. G to C to D to C. Those are all the major chords. By major, I mean they're not minor. But the next chord you need to know is the E minor, and in this sort of G-C shape that we're doing, the E minor is the pointy finger and the middle finger on the 2nd fret on the A string and the D string right here. So these two stay in the bottom. These two are kind of mixed. It's 2 pairs of 2. Has that sort of sound to it. So it's G, C, E minor, to D. Those are 4 chords we've learned so far. G, to C, to E minor, to D. You get that? Just mostly downstrokes. In the key of G, you'll also be playing the A minor, which looks like this. Can I see that shape there? So these 2 are here on the middle 2 strings on the 2nd fret. And then the minor is holding that 1st fret on the B string. So if I could say a G to A minor, and then another chord that's pretty hard in the key of G, but it does show up, and we got to practice it, is the B minor. So I'm kind of barring the 2, so it'll take you a while to learn to play. No rush. You don't have to play it perfectly when you get started. There's lots of cheater ways to play this chord, but you kind of need to learn it. It comes from the A minor that I just taught you. So I'm using a different set of fingers, but if you take the end here and you slide it up 2 frets, it's called a bar chord. So this B minor is based off the A minor shape, and that's how you get this sound. So when you're getting used to playing the B minor, you might just play the top 3 to get started with, and not be able to bar the whole thing or put all the fingers down. It does take a while to get a hold of that. You might just play the bottom part to only bar this kind of last string down here. Still has a good sound to it. You don't get the bass, but you can play a B. It sounds like that. It's not too bad. So these are the chords we've learned: G, C, D, E minor, A minor, B. The last chord we're going to play is an F sharp minor. There's 2 ways to play it. One is you bar from the E minor. It's E minor. My fingers get out of the way here. So you bar that on the 2nd fret. It's kind of a harder chord. It's called F sharp minor. But normally, and this happens for a lot of the songs that we play, is I'll just play a D with the F sharp in the bass. You don't need to know why that is, but if I see an F sharp, I'll just play an F sharp in the bass with my thumb normally, and a D. It's a similar enough sound so that when you're singing songs, it just works. So I'll rarely play the F sharp minor this way. I'll just play a D or F sharp. So that's the key note that the ear hears, and there's plenty of other similar notes in these 2 chords that when you're playing in the key of G, you can just pull off the D over F sharp for the F sharp minor. So here's all the chords. I'll just walk through them. G, F sharp, E minor, A minor, B, C, D. That's the 7. Let's play that song again. It's called The Song of Chords. And if we do it in order, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Looping all the way around. And of course, some of those are minors. G, D, we'll go in order. G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp minor, or D over F sharp, G. And those are all the chords in the key of G.